What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. It's meetup game weekend here on the Sunday, and the wait lists are absolutely packed. I think there's like 50 people on the 1-3, 30 people on the 2-5, and I haven't seen this place more packed, so we can roll the B-roll. But here with my buddy Pan, travel all the way from New York. What's going on, man?
Coming out. Good.
How do you feel? How are you feeling for today?
Just excited to play, but the wait list sucks. We called earlier too.
We blew this place up, so I guess that was the goal. But here we are waiting it out.
That's an awesome job. Just looking forward to this.
We'll see how it goes. Hopefully you run it up, man.
Yep, let's do it.
Let's go. If you want to see some more behind the scenes footage of this meetup game, feel free to check out my personal channel, Ethan Yao, with some behind the scenes stuff with Gianni vibes, and check out all the madness that happened in this meetup game. For now, without further ado, let's get into the hands of this meetup madness. Hopping into the 1-3 first, we pick up pocket nines, this time playing 9-handed here in this spot. We get an early position open to $15. Onto me. Nines certainly can go either way with a call or a 3-bet. Let's start things off hot. Let's get spicy. Make some moves and 3-bet to $45. The player to my left in the cutoff makes the call. Now onto the small blind. He decides that 45 just isn't quite enough. He 4-bets this time to $200. Folds to me, and definitely seems like a very strong action given he's out of position. He's 4-betting over 3 other players, and I don't know, pocket nines, I don't really love it. I guess I'm just really hoping that he has ace king and he's flipping, but obviously he has all the other overpairs in range that we're dominated by, so I make the fold, the cutoff folds, and our buddy Shane shows pocket kings. Nice hand, Shane, and also just gotta show off his nice, lovely mask with the yoga ladies, rocking it in style. Next hand, we get moved to the second table of the night, still 1-3. We pick up pocket aces in the small blind, and there's a button straddle. So I'm first to act, and I raise things up to $20. And action around this table, there are 3 players around to make the call. So we're going multi-way, 4 ways to a flop. The flop comes queen, 6, deuce, 2 spades. Here, not a single spade in hand. I'm going to c-bet this one and go a little bit larger, and I size to $55 with our overpair. One of the 3 other players make the call. This time he's in early position, so we're going to a turn. The turn is the jack of spades, and certainly not an amazing card to see. Queen jack gets there, spade draw gets there, but whatever. We still throw out a bet of $110, still a little bit too strong to check in the spot. He doesn't look too happy about his hand, but ends up making the call, so we're off to see a river. The river is the 9 of hearts. This board just isn't great for one pair, but he has about $200 behind, and given that he didn't look too happy about the turn situation, let's go for it. Let's target some queen 10, king queen holdings. That's almost it, but really thin value. I rip it all in for about 200 total, and now he certainly doesn't look too excited. So looks like he only has 1 pair at best, and looks like our hand is going to be good if he makes the call. Eventually, thinking things over, he does toss in a chip for a call. I show my hand, and we take down a big pot at this 1-3 table. Nice to chip up. Hand following that, we pick up pocket 8s in the +1 position. I raise it up to $15 here at 1-3. We get an early position and a button to make the call. 3 ways the flop comes. King jack 10. Yeah, not the board for pocket 8s in this spot, so I check and action checks around. The turn is now a 9, and once again, still here with an underpair. I check and action checks around again, so now seeing this action, seems like no one has anything too strong. Going to a river, which is another king, and given how action checked through on the flop, I don't think anyone really has a king in the situation, nor does anyone actually have a queen, so trying to bluff out all 10x, jack x holdings, I throw it at overbets of $60 here. Not that my line makes a whole lot of sense, but I really just think that my $60 bet can get through a lot of the time. The early position player folds, so one more player to get through, and now the button tanks for a long time. He actually grabs out chips, looks like he wants to call, and I'm just praying, just don't call please. Definitely not what I want to see, but eventually does toss in a call. I say nice hand, show him pocket 8s, and this player has ace 10 offsuit, so Nice call, Jeff. Thought I could get away with this bluff. He caught it. He caught it. The spot following that, we pick up King 8 of spades on the button, and action folds to me. Certainly a good candidate to raise, so I size up to $12. Only the small blind makes the call. The flop comes King Deuce Deuce 2 spades, and he checks to me. Here with the spade draw with King High, I think we're going to be pretty confident that we're ahead in this spot a lot of the time. I throw a very small feeler bet of $7, and to see where he's at, he actually ends up making the call, so feels like he could have lower spades, he could have a 10. We'll see a turn. The turn we get there in the 4 of spades, always nice to immediately get there, and when he checks to me, certainly going to be sizing up, gonna bet for value. We can get a lot of value from random holdings, even 2x hopefully. I bet $30, and he eventually makes the call. Let's go to a river, which is an offsuit 9. Interestingly enough, on this card, he leads out for about $60, and he's got about $200 behind this bet, so yeah, we're kind of loving the spots. Obviously not amazing that the board is paired, but I don't think we can be too afraid of full houses here. So with a king high flush and him leading into us, we decide to rip it all in for 260 total, and we put another player in a tough situation as he goes deep into the tank. And ultimately, I'm not going to make you guys sweat through all of the tanking. He does toss in a chip for a call. I show my king high flush, and he mucks his cards, saying he had 10-9 for rivered 2 pair. Always nice to see some friendly rivers to generate more action and give us more chips, and that's our session for 1-3. We ended up playing 1-3 for about 2 to 3 hours, in the game for $880, out for $1285. Now we're on to the 2-5 streets of this session. One of the first 2-5 hands we play, we pick up Queen 10 of spades and +1. I open things up to $20. We get the hijack player to make the call. I've played with him a lot so far here at Billiards. Going to a flop, which comes King 8, 2 diamonds, and a spade. King high board, so I'm going to c-bet this one because that's just how I like playing it. I throw it a bet of $15, and this player makes the call for 15. Definitely can call with a lot of kings, but I'm not really sure. We'll just evaluate a turn. The turn is an 8, so that's not great, and I don't know. For one reason or another, I decided to try and go for it. We throw another bet of $35, little feeler test bet, and for $35, he once again makes the call. The river is a 4, inconsequential, and we can certainly check back and give up with queen high, but in this specific instance, we don't like doing that too much, so I try to go for it. Throw out a bet of $100. I don't think we can really get folds from King X or 8X, and certainly do not face a fold. He raises to $250. Well, this is a snap fold. Welcome to 2-5 here. I just go ahead and add on for about $100 more. This was a unneeded punt. In this next hand, we are in the hijack with King 10 of diamonds. There's a +1 player who limps for $5. Low jack raises to 20. I think this hand isn't too great enough to 3-bet, so in position I decided on a call for $20. Now the button 3-bets to 60. And surprisingly, action folds all the way to me. It's a really small 3-bet considering there's 2 players committed, myself and the low jack. So small 3-bet, we're out of position. It's only $40 more. You know, folding's boring. We're going to see a flop. So we go to a flop which comes 10-5-6 to spades with top pair decent kicker. It's an okay board. I check and he c-bets $80. And here with top pair, I don't really love the situation because I don't think one pair here is ever good too often. But this board does hit our range more than his, so I think we can bluff on some runouts even though we have a strong top pair. I make the call for 80 and we're off to a turn which is the 3 of clubs. I check for a second time and now he throws out another bet of $200. Given how he played this hand, it really seems like an overbet protecting from a flush draw. And here, I certainly can fold in this spot, but once again, like I said, this board favors my range, and I think I can definitely bluff off on some rivers. It's kind of ridiculous to say that, even though we have top pair and a good kicker still, but that's kind of what's going on in my head so far. We make the call, and we're off to a river. The river is now the 3 of spades, and the spade draw gets there, and he has about $600 behind. On to me, I'm first to act. The issue about being out of position is that you have to act first, and I think I really want to rip it all in this spot. I don't think he has a flush too often here, but the only thing that scares me is that if I jam for 600 total, and if I get snap called by any flush, I definitely would feel a little stupid. So after thinking things over for probably like 2 minutes or so, I decided to check. This player checks it back pretty quickly, and he says I'm good. So I don't really believe him, but I just show my hand first since I have to, show the king 10, and this player shows us ace jack of clubs. So I guess I got a little lucky here that we win this one without having to bluff. Just feels like we had to bluff here more often than not. Next hand we go with the ace 10 offsuit on the big blind. There's a middle position player open to $20. A hijack makes the call, and for $15 more, I decided on a call. Given we're out of position, let's see a flop. The flop is ace jack 5 rainbow, top pair. We love this. I check, but sadly, no action around. Everyone checks. The turn is now the 9 of hearts, brings in a backdoor flush draw, so certainly going to throw out a bet here. I size to $40, and surprisingly, both players make the call. So this is interesting development. Let's see a river. The river is a queen. Not loving this. A lot of 2-pair combos get there. I guess all I can say is I have a 10 for a blocker of king 10, but that shouldn't be too relevant. So I decided to just check here. I have top pair, 1 pair. Shouldn't be able to get too much value. The middle position player who raised pre-flop also checks, and now onto the hijack, who throws out a bet of 180. This pot size bet seems very polarized. Seems like he has nuts or nothing. And since we do block some king 10s, I think 1 pair can be fine here. I decided to just make the call for $180, not really believing him. Definitely thought about it for a while though, as I am behind a lot of 2-pair combos that could have gotten there. Queen jack, jack 9, who knows. When I make the call, I'm just really hoping the other guy folds so we can just win this, hopefully heads up. So he does end up folding, and the hijack player shows us king 9 of diamonds for the bluff. And we take this one down with a pair of aces. So on the second 2-5 table we go. We pick up pocket queens in the cutoff. What a good start. There's an undergun open to $20 onto me, certainly putting in the 3-bet, so I size to $70. The player to my left on the button who has a $6,000 stack, 6K mind you, and a 1K max buy-in, he makes the call. And now onto the small blind, who puts in the good old 4-ball to $235. The small blind player has about 600 behind, and now action folds to me. He only has about 800 in stack, so certainly going to be trying to get it all in the middle with pocket queens here. Isolate against the button player who has a massive stack. I put in the 5-bet to $550, trying to get it all in. The button folds onto the small blind, and he ends up letting his cards go, folding ace queen of diamonds face up. So always nice to win a 5-bet pot with queens. Unfortunately, we didn't go to a run out this time. In this next hand, we pick up ace 5 of clubs and +1. There's a button straddle for $10. So when I open up the action to 40, we get 1 player to make the call in the hijack. So out of position, going to a flop. The flop is ace king 4 to hearts, and here with top pair, I'm going to play this a little bit more tricky and check this one with top pair. Don't have to c-bet every single time, and this player checks it back. The turn is a 9, and given that he checked back the flop, I feel pretty good about my 1 pair holding, so throw out a really small bet of $35, and he decides on a call for $35. The river is now the ace of hearts, so not great the heart draw got there, but we improved to trips, and I don't think he has too many flushes given he checked back the flop. So I throw out a bigger bet of $105, and he snaps this off. So we show our trip aces, and he mucks his cards, so it seemed like he made the call with a king X holding. Probably could have gone a little bit bigger given the snap call, but regardless, happy to scoop some money our direction. This hand gets very fun. We pick up king queen off in the small blind. There is a +1 open to 20. 2 players make the call and onto me. Here, out of position, certainly just going to make the call, and let's try to see a good flop, huh? The flop comes jack 10, 9, 2 spades. We flop the nuts, flop gin here, and first to act, I'm obviously going to check with the nuts straight. Onto the hijack player who throws out a bet of $65. Music to our ears. Pretty large bet given there's only 80 in the middle, and even better, the button makes the call as well, so this is just amazing. Here, facing this action, obviously going to be putting in a raise. We're out of position, and we obviously want to get as much money in the middle as possible before we see a bad turn card. So I put in this raise to $250, Action folds to the hijack player who started his stack with about $1,000 in front. And he looks at his chips for a while, counts out his chips, and almost looks like he wants to jam or put in a 3-bet. Would love to see that, obviously sitting with the nuts, but eventually he puts in the call for 250 total. The button gets out of the way, so let's try to see a clean turn and get all the money in. The turn is a queen. Yep, that is not a good turn. 4-liner to the straight. I don't think we can get too much value, and it feels like if we're up against any king, we're just going to be chopping. So regardless, still can't let this one go check. I put in a down bet to $225. We can get a lot of value against spade draws, I guess, and that's about it. He thinks for a while, and ultimately, it looks like he's going to be folding, and he does end up letting his cards go, and it's pretty disgusting to see what he folded. He had 8-7 of diamonds, flopped straight over straights, and the turn card killed a lot of action. What a heartbreaking turn.
Queen, do it. King, queen. You lost so much money.
As much as we lost a lot of value on that last hand, it's always nice to pick up pocket kings in the cutoff to redeem it. We're playing 6-handed, and the player to my right opens up the action to $20. Here, once again, we're going to put in that 3-bets, and we size to 70. Button, once again to my left, cold calls as he covers the whole table, and the player to my right makes the call as well, so we're going 3 ways to a flop. The flop is Jack 9, 3, 2 clubs. Action checks to me and no club in our hand. I definitely want to size up as we unblock the club draw. I throw out a bet of $100, a little bit less than half pot. The button makes the call, who covers everyone at the table. And now the player to my right in the hijack check raises to $375. Oh man, we are going to play a big one, it seems. He has about $1,000 in his stack, and things that are going over in my head right now, I think that given that he's out of position against us two and him check raising, he certainly can have a lot of the stronger hands in his range, all of the sets, all of the combo draws, and that's about it that I think that he'll be check raising with out of position. But we unblock clubs, so, you know, some of those king 10 of clubs holdings he just wants to get it all in with, and we're certainly ahead of. I think we can either fold in this spot or jam to get stacks in. Ultimately, folding seems a little too exploitable at the end of the day, so I don't know. We go for it. We 3-bet this one to $800. The button, who has about $5,000 in his stack, who covers us, he folds. The hijack 4-bet jams for $1,100 total, and we don't love facing that jam, but it's 300 more, and we wanted to get stacks in anyways. Let's go do that. Off to a run out.
I just wanted to make sure I was
and it doesn't look amazing when it goes runner clubs. It doesn't really matter. This player shows us pocket 9s for a flopped set, then runner 9 high flush, and he takes it down. So nice hand. Not great to really end the night with this hand. You thought this night was over, but we have one more poker hand in store. We're playing a meetup game. Let's get splashy. For the very last hand of the night before the casino closes, we play a 6-way $100 bomb pot. That's right. Bomb pot with $600 in the middle. Let's go to a flop, which comes 10-7-4 rainbow. We look down at our cards. We've got 9-7 off suits. So middle pair, got a whole lot of nothing. Action checks to the player to my right, who throws out a bet of $200. And on to me. Obviously, we can just fold this one with middle pair, but we're stuck a little bit at the end of the day, and maybe we can just rip it all in. I don't know. Sometimes he can call with a 10x holding, sometimes he can fold, but we have okay equity, and I want to see if we can leverage some folds here. So I've got $1,000 in my stack, about $960 total. There's $800 in the middle up for grabs, and if we win this pot and get folds, then we just break even in the 2-5 streets. So we go for it. Rip it all in for 960 total. This is very ambitious, and action folds to the early position player, who shows Gianni vibes his cards and then tosses in a call. This can't be good for us. And even worse, the player to my right, who covers me, also makes the call. So little did we know, our jam did not go according to plan. We're playing a massive one to end the night. Early position player shows us pocket tens. Just top sets in this bomb pot. Oh dear. The player right shows Jack 10 of hearts, and we're drawing pretty much dead. The run out comes runner, runner, fours, so oops. We made a mistake here.
Good way.
I win the side board.
No, you did not.
No, there's a side board.
There's a side pot, guys, okay?
Alright, so we're gonna take him.
We're gonna give him
How much do I owe him?
This is very difficult.
Oh, I had
6.
Yeah, I thought people just a fold.
Wait, he has 6?
It's got 641.
Four suited there in club. So
Yes.
when you put $0 and you're cashed out, this is what it looks like.
5, 641.
I know, but I have so many more better
So-
hand to call than Queen 9.
All these people have to wait for chips to convert it into money. Little do you know, all you have to do is punt off all of your chips so you don't have to wait in the line anymore. So silly, so silly. Anyways, there's the punt. In the 2-5 for 1,500, out of it for obviously 0. We made like $500 in the 1-3, but I have nothing to say. Top set, running into it. Not the smartest thing in the world, so nice hand, Tim. That's all I got. Tim, any words for the nice little triple up and punt?
I was down. I'm not anymore.
You're
So
welcome.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank
I got you. Always looking out. If you've watched the channel, I just might punt off to you too. So next meetup game, you should come. That's all I got. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Peace.